Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have updates to share about two different January 6 convicts. One has been sent back to jail. The other was accidentally released early. So here's the deal. 26-year-old Maryland resident Bryan Betancu legally changed his name to Bryan Betancu Battisti after he served 4 months in prison for his part in the Capitol attack. Now, Battisti has been ordered to return to jail for stalking. So the victim of his stalking is someone you've likely seen on the news or social media. I've mentioned her before. She goes by the handle of Anarchy Princess, and she's the woman who famously stood behind Peter Navarro, Mr. What They Do. This was while he was speaking to the press right after he was in court and told, yeah, you got to go to jail. So she was holding that sign that said Trump lost and you know it. So Anarchy Princess, her real name is Brianne Chapman. She has become kind of a citizen journalist. She attends and live streams a bunch of extremist right-wing events and different people. Well, Chapman and Batista had each obtained a restraining order against each other. So when those orders expired, Chapman requested an anti-stalking order against Batista, and the judge approved it. I shared that a while back. Battisti, I think I said Batista, it's Battisti. He tried to get an extension on his restraining order, but the judge denied his request. So Battisti is said to have violated this order against him at least 3 times. In one instance, Battisti entered a courtroom, and even though he saw Chapman sitting in the gallery, he didn't leave. On another occasion, a WUSA 9 reporter said that they saw federal officers detain Battisti, and then they removed him from the courthouse. Also, he had been banned from U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols' courtroom, which is a Trump appointee. He banned him for 3 months because of his behavior during a hearing for Gina Bisignano. She's another January 6 defendant. So this guy's got some serious issues, and January 6 wasn't his first run-in with the law. You might remember he was actually wearing an ankle monitor for committing a previous crime when he took part in the Capitol attack. That's one of the ways they knew that he was at the Capitol. He's also an avowed white supremacist. He is said to be, or he actually was found to have said that he wanted to be a lone wolf killer. And according to Chapman, she has a video of him vowing to rape and murder women on behalf of fellow white supremacist and Donald Trump buddy, by the way, Nick Fuentes. I don't think Battisti owns a mirror because he doesn't exactly fit in with the Nazi crowd, but then again, self-loathing seems to be pretty prevalent in MAGA. So anyway, back in March, Battisti was charged with 3 counts of violating Chapman's anti-stalking order. It was later increased to 4 counts, and Battisti recently accepted a plea deal for 2 out of the 4 counts. So he was in court this week. He was hauled off in handcuffs because he was sentenced to serve 60 days in jail. He also received 180 days of a suspended sentence. So if he breaks any more laws, they can then put that into full effect. He goes back to jail. He was also given 2 years of supervised release, and he's going to have to wear an ankle monitor for the first 6 months when he gets out. So there's also an anti-stalking order that's still in place. That's going to remain in effect for another 2 years. So guess who won't be voting for Trump in November? Next up is news about 38-year-old Iowa resident Leo Kelly. In May of 2023, Kelly was convicted. He had a jury trial, and he was convicted of 7 counts related to the Capitol attack. Kelly was found guilty on one of those counts of obstructing an official proceeding and then 6 misdemeanors. So U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth had ordered him to serve 30 months in prison. Well, last week, Kelly was accidentally released.
Leo Kelly of Cedar Rapids, pictured here, was freed last Thursday after an appeals court threw out one of his convictions. But prosecutors believe Kelly's release was a mistake due to him only serving 11 months of his 30-month sentence. The Bureau of Prison officials told the Associated Press Kelly was, quote, inadvertently released after a misinterpretation of a court order.
So the government has yet to explain what caused this mix-up. But Kelly got sprung early, as you heard there, and it sounds like he's going to remain free until the judge holds a resentencing hearing. The reason, though, for this resentencing hearing isn't because of his early release error. It's because of that ridiculous Supreme Court ruling that January 6 defendants can't be charged with obstructing an official proceeding unless they tampered with physical documents. Of course, they likely issued that ruling just strictly to protect Trump, but quite a few January 6 convicts are benefiting from that partisan decision. So Kelly is going to be resentenced because of that. And since that felony has now been dropped from his case, but Judge Lamberth has already said, he said this last month, that he's unlikely to reduce the 30-month sentence. So he's probably going back to serve the remaining 19 months. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being released early and then having to go back? I almost think that's worse. I almost think that on a psychological level is worse than just serving out the full term. It's like, psych, oh, you thought you were done, you're going back. So anyway, as always, I'll keep you posted on these cases and these convicts. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.